Hi everybody, it's Tatiana and this is A Hope Divided by Alyssa. I almost said the wrong title. I almost didn't do a review for this novel because it's the second novel in the series that I have started reading by this author. However, this series is a companion series. So the books are not direct sequels, and you can read the books in any order without giving too much information away from, with what happened in the previous novel. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a review. And then especially after Brown Girl Readings live stream in the things that we discussed on Instagram today, I said, yes, I'm going to do this novel. This is book 2 in the Loyal League series. It is not a long novel. Both of the ones that are published in this series thus far are under 300 pages, and I flew through them. These are set during the Civil War, and they have, for the first 2, they've had, I can't tell you that because that would be a spoiler. But, okay, on to this story. This follows the story of, my eyes itching, allergies, Marley Lynch, and she is a free black during the Civil War time period, which means little to nothing in that time period, if you are familiar with the slave narrative at all. But she is born free to a former slave who was set free by her former master, and it is well known by Marley that her father is white, as well as the community around her, and Marley has a distinct physical trait beyond her skin tone that says or shows that something is different about her than everyone else in the community. Her mother is what would be a root woman, kind of like a healer or shaman, for lack of a better term, but during the 1800s, that was for medical care for black folk. That's who we had to use. And so as she becomes a teenager, her mom sends her to live with her other family that she has no connection with, because she thinks that for her would be a better life. On the other side of this story is an escaped prisoner who ends up hiding at the house where Marley moves to live in, and their worlds collide. I was a little nervous about reading book 2 because I loved book 1 so much, and I was kind of nervous about reading book 2 from the same author, and number 1, not enjoying it as much, and number 2, getting the same kind of story just with different characters, because that has been some of my experience with companion novels in the past. That is not the case with this story. The way the twists and the turns and the things that are revealed in this novel, not just about Marley and Ewan, who is the escaped soldier, but also about the mindset and how people view Marley and Ewan, and the pathology towards slaves, free blacks, deserters of the Confederate Army, all of those things during this time frame of the Civil War is spades above what I could have ever thought to expect. Because a lot of times when we get books that are slave narratives, or even with that, or the ones that I've read, let me classify that, that are slave narratives are set during the Civil War, they are not so far reaching from what we know the typical slave narrative to be it a black person born free, taken in, a slave freed, attempting to live their life free without getting sucked back in, the sharecropping experience, an escapee, all of those things, which those stories are still varied in what you come across as you read them, but there are a lot of things that are the same as well. There's so much more in these books than I was truly expecting to read. I just thought that they were going to be nice historical romance books to just veg out on and enjoy, but Alyssa Cole has done a really good job of not only putting you in the 1800s, putting you in the mindset, pathology, and struggles of those living during the Civil War time frame, both white and black. But she's also done a good job of the dichotomy between how people view each other during this time frame. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. Right now, these are the only two, An Extraordinary Union and A Hope Divided are the only two in this series thus far. I cannot wait for book 3. And it's not coming out until 2019. So I am going to raid my library eventually to read some more of Alyssa Cole's novels. I do kind of want to take some time, since I've been so heavy in the library lately, I want to take some time to read my own books, but I am not going to start, I don't think I'm going to start, depends on what my library has, with the Reluctant Royals series, because that's the one that's so hyped right now that so many people are reading. Well, all of these are really hyped, so to speak, as far as hype for a black author can get right now. But she has some other novels that are also romance novels that are not necessarily historical fiction, but I want to check them out because I am really, really enjoying her writing style. And yeah, that's all that I'm going to say. She is about to be a new fave of mine. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let this go. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.